Good morning. It's it's the 5 a.m. Mester Scrum Show. It is 8:30 a.m. Yes, I slept in. I just woke up a little while ago. It's New Year's Eve. I still gotta go to work today. However, I got some news for you all. So good morning. I'm Greg Mester, Scrum Master and Agile Coach, and this is the 5 a.m. Mester Scrum Show. A couple hours late, 3 hours late, as a matter of fact. And we talk about Scrum and Agile in a practical and tactical way to get value to the customer, get you home to family and friends, not quite the way I was thinking about, which I'm going to be. But we'll talk about that in a second. And then have some fun, right? Still going to have fun. So it's New Year's Eve, life of a contractor, which is me. And so I'm going to talk about New Year's Eve a little bit and some New Year's resolution, looking back in the past. And my life as a contractor, because yesterday I was just told that they didn't have the money, and I have 1 day's notice to see you later. So we're talking about that. That happened yesterday. So that's why I wasn't on yesterday. A lot of stuff going on. I had to do a lot of things, closing out stuff. So we'll talk about that life as a contractor when you lose your job and what you look out for. But I want to talk, when we do it, I'll talk a little more about that a little bit. So let's talk about New Year's Eve, because that's a happy note. New Year's Eve, reflection on the past year was, for me, it was like having a testing environment going down, and where a competition, introduce a new product line, was it like that, or was it good? But no matter what we have to do, we have to keep going. And whatever I said, renewing our game. So a couple things as I was reflecting. So the New Year's thing was before I learned yesterday afternoon that I have 1 day notice that the work I'm working on right now is going to be canceled due to funding. And so I was writing down this New Year's Eve, but I really believe in it. Gives me more time now. I might have a week or so to take some full time and renew skill sets, stuff like that in the new year. Keep practicing on that. And the one thing I tell everybody, never give up. You go to a point, you're doing stuff. Don't ever give up, because there's always going to be something coming down the road. I mean, this is crystal ball stuff right here, where I'm talking about New Year's. Never give up, because there's always something coming. And as I wrote this down, like, I don't know, Tuesday or something, and lo and behold, I got a big hiccup. It's not a bad hiccup. I'm actually prepared. So we're going to talk about being prepared as a contractor, because not everybody understands the contractor life. So I had lots of goals. Not many of them done, right? So the question is how many goals I got. I got some done. I have them on my wall. So that was good. Was it, and here's my question. It's going to relate into losing my position, the contractor position, due to funding. And what I ask myself, and I look at myself more than I look at anybody else on the planet. Had lots of goals. Was it me, or was it due to other stuff? I would say it was more due to me than it was other stuff. More of me achieving my goals is about me, myself personally, than it was necessarily COVID, job stuff, my knee getting all busted up, my foot getting all busted up, other things like that. I don't blame other things or my body or stuff, but I blame myself, right? It's more myself. I'll get over it. Yeah, there's contributions to things like that, but it's just a question of me and how I do in my goal settings. So that's the same with everything else. And I don't blame others for those problems. I can't blame others for COVID. It's bound to happen. So contracting thing. Why do I go into that? So, okay, got 1 day notice going in. Here's a couple things as a contractor, just letting you know, and this part, maybe I'll put that up there. So one, it's always nice to pay for your own health benefits, because it doesn't bother me, because I'm paying for it. I'm good. Two, have your own life insurance policy, not dependent upon an individual company. And this is good for even if you work for a company. If they're going to give you free health insurance, take it. But buy your own. They're going to give yourself free life insurance, but go ahead and buy your own policy too, independent of the company, so that you have it. So you buy that 20-year policy and you have it forever, no matter what. Because no matter where you work at, because I worked in places I was an employee and worked contractor jobs, you never know what's going to happen. And in corporate life, you never know. So, for example, the company I was working with, they overspent last year. They were over budget, ran out of money, and they had to make cuts. It happens. Plus, my 2 years was up next month. So I only had 1 month left. So things happen out of your control no matter what happens, no matter how good you are, no matter how much you contribute to a place. Stuff happens, especially as a contractor. You can contribute the best thing on the planet Earth. You're going to be the first one let go. It just happens. And then, like I said, it can happen to anything. So I got the health insurance myself, and I got my life insurance myself. Every time I'm making money as a contractor, more than I made before, I put in savings. So I got plenty of savings saved up. I got enough cash on hand to bridge the next contract job or permanent job, depending on who's out there and what they offer, and what's available, what the company's like, right? So I'm good. Maybe I'll take my vacation that I didn't take, So when you don't take vacation, if you work full time as a contractor and you don't take any vacation, take that money you're not spending on a vacation, put it away in a savings account. My piece of advice. So when it does happen, like it did, not so bad. Having 1 day's notice kind of caught me off guard, and I'll be honest, really pissed me off, right? I'm like, 1 day's freaking notice, really? You're giving me 1 day? But, and they're asking me to do stuff. I'm like, did you think about that before you told me 1 day ahead of time? They could have told me like 2 weeks ago and said, hey, I don't know. There's a 50-50 shot. We're going to have funding for you next year. I'm just letting you know. Start transitioning just in case it doesn't happen. It would have been fine with me, right? I only had a month. So here's where I screwed up. And I should have read the tea leaves. So I knew they were having funding problems because they let some people go, or let some Scrum Masters and other Agile coaches before me. So they're trying to save money or whatever, and because they're spending way too much money on manual testing. and I've been trying to get them to do more automated, but they absolutely refuse to do it. So they're way overspent, over budget, and I can talk about that in another episode, what I was working with them to try to realize what they were doing. So they gave me the 1 day notice. So my contract ended with them like the first or second week of February, right? So it's only a month away. Dummy me should realize that most places will cut my butt. So I don't fault them. I already knew I was leaving. So my mental state was, I'm leaving in a month anyhow. I'm starting my transition, rolling stuff out, giving people their stuff, make sure my name's not on any Jira dashboards or project boards, and make sure the Scrum Masters and everything. And most of them I checked were good because I set it up that way. I always, technical debt, right? So technical debt is when you build something for somebody else and you don't put them in the editor or the admin for those things, right? So then you got to come back and you got to update those things so that they are the admin for those things. Most, I would say 80%, 60 to 80%, I do that all the time. There's some one-off stuff that they may or may not want. I don't know. So I'm just going off through my one-off stuff to change the admin. And I just had one team. The timing was amazing. Just yesterday, I had a new Scrum Master came on board. I've been working with him and another lady who's another Scrum Master for this one train, teaching them how to use Jira and how to use the boards and how to make it easy and how to go boom, boom, boom. So their daily Scrum could be like 7 minutes or something. And so just yesterday morning, that's why I was busy and I had to go do that this morning. So we closed out the sprint. Oh, and the day before, we planned out their entire next PI. So actually, so their timing, I don't understand what they're thinking, because they're doing their PI planning next week, so they get rid of an Agile coach and Scrum Masters just before PI planning. I'm like, oh my God, you guys are going to die. Anyway, they'll make it. It's just going to be, there's no support structure. Well, there is, but there's less people. So it's still the same amount of teams. So we did the PI planning, got them all worked out, showed them how to move stories from sprint to sprint. So they're all ready. So the good thing for the person who just became a Scrum Master and never done this job before is that they're all set up. So I think I did good. They had all their sprints all laid out, how many stories in each one, balance it out between what type of people, because they do some crazy stuff, and what they got. And then yesterday morning, helped them close out their sprint, got it done pretty simple, showed them how to do it. Well, problem is I only got to do it once with them. Usually I like to do it a couple times, and then they know what to do. And only got one run, so that's their prerogative, right? So close out the sprint, showed them how to start a sprint, get everything ready, get the team, got them all. I mean, it was good. It was a lot of positive vibes coming out of that session. And then I got hammered. It's like, okay. And I gave a warning. I said to the person, I said, you do realize you got two teams with just brand new Scrum Masters that kind of started like a week ago. And the one person was out for 3 days. So I didn't get a chance to work with her. We'll do what they do. And they just looks at me, what? I go, yeah, I've been telling you that, right? So, but again, it's not their fault. They gave me 1 day's notice. I guess they tried and they didn't want to tell me otherwise, but I believe in honesty and trust. And I'll be honest with you, not telling somebody that you may or may not get funded doesn't improve your trust factor with people. Be honest with them. I'm a believer in being honest. Like, I don't know if I'll work with somebody. I said, I don't know, next month, I don't know if I work, but I want to let you know in case something comes up, you find something good. I'll write you reference. I liked what you did, but the funding is the funding. Business is business. And I'm totally cool with that. I live in that world. And, but again, my thing I screwed up. So as a contractor, watch the signals, right? And in my case, my contract was ending in a month and a couple days, month and a week. And it was the end of the year. I'm the first person they will be cut because they don't want to go through all the paperwork. And I wasn't going to get renewed. Either bring me on board, which they weren't prepared to do, or pay the rest of my funding. They're cheap. They're going to cut the month, and because their Agile accountants aren't very good at being accountants. But I should have seen it. I was already prepared for it mentally. I just was not prepared for 1 day notice. That kind of cuts you off guard. But so anyway, that's what it is. New Year's, new stuff, new things going out there. I did put up. Anybody wants to send me a note on LinkedIn. I'm experimenting with LinkedIn, see how many people reach back out to me. And just share that. And I didn't go on yesterday because I wanted to let the algorithm in LinkedIn post up my post and see what it generates. Because LinkedIn doesn't like multiple posts, and it doesn't like posts from other media. So we'll see how that worked. And got some good ideas already, some leads. So it's pretty cool. Reminders of some stuff. And there's some people I was working with before for transition, because I know I was ending my contract in a month anyhow. So we'll see how that goes. So that's what I got. I want to wish everybody a happy new year. Keep it on new thoughts. Renewing your game. Keep on going. Don't stop renewing ever, because you never know when you might be in transition. Companies go in transition. People go in the transition. You never know. And keep on trying so you don't get all your stuff done. Don't blame other people, and don't draw it in. Just say, you know what? Yeah, I screwed up. It's time for me to own up to it and progress past it, right? So anyway, I ranted for 15 minutes almost, time of a daily scrum. And I want to wish, again, everybody a happy new year. Happy scrumming. Give me a thumbs up if you like the show. If you got any thoughts, questions you want to know about contractor life, I'd be more than happy to share what I've learned, and I'll do some more contractor episodes because the new year, a lot of people will be looking at new contracts, new jobs, new budgets, new projects, new things, and I'll share that with you. Ring the little bell if you want to get noticed when we go live, and I wish you all the best of luck in the Happy New Year. See you tomorrow on New Year's Day. Maybe we'll get some mummers and do some live broadcasts with some mummers boycotting the city of Philadelphia and marching anyhow. Live in a weird world, man. All right, take care, and love you all. Take care. Bye. See ya.